Today I'm going to let you in on a dream of mine that I've had for a very long time. But first, let's rewind a bit and let me tell you how I got to this point in my life. I still remember the very first trip that I made to the Kruger Park. I must have been around 8 or 9 years old. And a friend of my mom's had invited me with his 2 sons on a camping trip for 2 weeks. I'd never been to the park before, and from the moment that we arrived, I could feel that this place was different to anywhere I had ever been before. It's hard to explain that feeling to people who've never been before. It's a place that is wild, it's peaceful, it's exhilarating, and it's so many more emotions all mixed up in one. By the time that I turned 15, my family had made a decision to immigrate to Ireland. And for some time, the Kruger and the bush became just a distant memory for me. Fate, though, would have me return to South Africa after I had finished my schooling in Ireland. It wasn't supposed to be a long trip back, but the combination of being back in the bush, feeling that feeling again, and maybe meeting a pretty blonde girl along the way that would eventually become my wife, cemented a decision in me to return to South Africa for good. And life progressed as it does in many ways. There were a lot of ups and there were so many downs. And at this stage of my life, the bush became more than just a holiday destination for me. It became a refuge. A place that I could go to when I suffered bad anxiety, which I had a lot of during the time. A place that I could go to reset and recharge. But most importantly, a place that fostered a deep passion for photography and videography. And during every trip that I would go up to the Kruger, I would say to myself, Matt, one day you're going to own a property up here. A special second home that I could escape to, a home that I could share with others, and most importantly, a home that my kids could enjoy and develop the same love for the bush that I developed as a youngster. And after looking for a few years for a property, and I had a deal that fell through, which I thought was going to be the right property to buy, I eventually found the perfect property at the end of last year. This property is in northern Palabora, and it's small, it was very affordable, and best of all, it is completely wild. There was a catch though, and the catch is that the property needed a lot of work done. So I ended up buying it, and this series that I'm putting together is the realization of that lifelong dream of mine. My dream to have a second home near the Kruger National Park. But also to start something that maybe one day can become something bigger. So enough of the backstory. Let's take a look at this dilapidated old house that I bought near the Kruger National Park and see if this is something that I can turn into something magical. The house is a small 2-bedroom property. It's part of a small bush estate and was a property that existed on the land before the actual estate was started. I don't know exactly when it was built, but I think it's at least 30 years old, if not more. Here's a little walkthrough of the property that I recorded last spring. At the time, I didn't think that I was going to put together this renovation series, so I only recorded video in portrait mode. So unfortunately, that's all I've got, but at least this will give you a good idea of the property. So we'll start here, just roughly. There's the good old rental car, the new one, the one with working aircon. And this is the house. Kind of need to zoom out. So there's patio, little braai area. Over there is a viewing deck. And there's this is the back side of the house. If we go in this back door, it needs quite a bit of a clean up. It's got a nice big open plan lounge dining area. Curtains definitely first thing to go, so it needs proper cleaning. Small little kitchen over here. And then if you go this way, we've got bedroom 1. You can see very deliciously painted on the walls. Cupboards, then we've got bathroom. Again, it's all gonna come out and be redone. Made to look very nice. On this side, the other side is the bathroom, shower, and another bedroom. Again, curtains definitely coming out. So it needs a lot of work, but we will be spending quite a bit of time on it over the next couple of months to make it our own and make it nice and Nice thing about this little bush estate here is it's very wild, so lots of animals, elephants, hyena, there's been leopard here, and a whole bunch of other stuff comes in and out of the estate, which is really cool. Now there is a swimming pool, which will also be very cool for the kids. So dry, but in the summer season all these trees will just be green and luscious, and from the pictures that I've seen you can't even see that's a big boma area. You can't even see that because it's just so bushed up with green vegetation. Cool, that's it. As you can see, this place needs a lot of work, but that's the exciting part for me. I love building, I love renovation, and this house is something that I can take, apply a vision to, and come up with something that I think will be completely unique. I mentioned the house is on a small estate, and this estate has a lot of wild animals. It's not uncommon on the estate to come across elephants, waterbuck, impala, and even leopards are often seen. I've got some really cool ideas about documenting the animals that live on the estate in the future, but for now the list of work that needs to be done is endless. I also have no idea how long this is going to take to complete, but there are some initial pieces of work that I think are good projects to kick things off. They are, number one, replacing the thatch roof. Right now the existing roof is falling apart, unfortunately, rotting away, and it's in a very bad state. And then number two, removing all the interior tiles, cupboards, kitchens and bathroom fittings, and open planning the property and the bedrooms by removing some walls and giving the house this fresh and open bush house feeling. So basically a lot of demolition work. There are a number of challenges that I'm going to face during this renovation project. The biggest one is that I live 1,900 kilometers away from the property. How I usually get to the property is that I fly from Cape Town to Johannesburg, and in Johannesburg my mom has a vehicle which I can use then to drive to the property. It's a 2-hour flight from Cape Town to Johannesburg, and then a 5-hour drive from Johannesburg to Phalaborwa. And I'll need to be up there as much as possible over the next while to make sure that this project continues to move forward, and to get involved with it myself, of course. And therein lies the next challenge. I have a wife and 3 kids, and I can't spend too much time away from home in Cape Town. I'm also a partner in a business that keeps me very busy. So my idea is to hopefully, if the opportunity presents itself, get the kids involved with this project as well. I think that'll give them both a great sense of accomplishment, but also a strong attachment to the house. And then of course there's more challenges. The house is in a small rural town, which means materials and building materials are usually quite expensive. And I can't do this project all by myself, I just don't have the time. So I'm going to need partners and contractors to come in on certain projects, and finding them may prove to be challenging because I don't really know anybody in the area. And of course there's also the wildlife on the estate that needs to be navigated. So the plan for now is for me to go up at least once or twice a month over the next few months, just to get this project going. And if all goes well, in 3 months from now, I'd really like to spend some time in the house with my family during the holidays. But I don't know how realistic that is given the amount of work that needs to be done. As I start to build now, I'm sure that I'll get a better idea if that's going to be a possibility or not. In the next episode of the series, I'll be up at the house, and I'm going to start by fixing the roof and then also starting the major demolition work. I'm really excited to get up there and to kick this off. So if this series is something that interests you, please make sure that you subscribe to this channel. I'll be doing about 1 to 2 videos a month, but I also have a short film coming up about the leopards of the Kalahari and a few other exciting projects planned. So I'll see you in the next episode where I'll be up at the house and starting to get my hands dirty.